Today's video is going to be trying to help you through this extra credit work that I passed out today. We're just going to go through the questions and I'm going to give you helpful hints. I'm not going to give you the answers today. That way you can go ahead and use the knowledge that you had before and see what you can come up with. So number one was basically asking everybody what the radius was. Remember, the radius is half of the diameter, okay? Which simply means we're going to find a circle, and the point that is in the center of the circle will make a line from the center to the outer edge of the circle, and that would be the length of our radius. The diameter is the line that goes from one end of the circle through the center of the circle all the way to the other end of the circle. Next, we're talking about the vertex angles, and vertex angles are angles that cross each other, and the angles, lines that cross each other, and then the angles are on opposite sides. And they're very unique because we know they have to equal each other. Since they're straight lines, no matter what is on one side, the opposite side has to equal the same. Next is going to be formula for the area of a circle. And we can remember that formula for the area of a circle is going to be consisting of things that we talked about in class that have to do with a circle. First of all, whenever you see a circle, remember what Mr. Mendez's favorite thing to eat is, and that's pie, and all pies are round. So when dealing with a circle, we have pi involved in it. Now, if we're finding the area of something, remember that's not finding the volume of it. So we're not going to be finding our area cubed. We're going to be finding our area squared. So we already know pi is involved and we know it's squared. And I told you to remember that funny little term, since circles are, pies are usually circles, we want to go ahead and say something goofy to help us remind it. So we're going to say pi all square. Okay, so pi r square is our formula. All right, and we're going to go ahead and go to number 4. Hopefully you'll be able to find number 3 with that helpful hint. Number 4 is the complementary angles. And with complementary angles, we have to remember there are 2 angles that are going to equal 90 degrees. So you need to find 2 angles that equal 90 degrees. You can also remember that 90 degrees can be found by seeing 2 angles, one perpendicular from the other, and they have a little square there, and that indicates 90 degrees. And next was the diameter, which we already covered, so I'm not going to go over that again. But we will go over number 6, which is the formula for the area of a circle. And the formula for the area, formula for the area of a triangle. And we remember that a triangle is half of a square. And remember that the square's formula is base times height. So it stands to reason all you have to do is find a formula that shows you half of base times height. Next thing we're going to cover is the circumference. And the circumference is found by taking the diameter, which we talked about earlier, and multiplying it to pi. So if you want to find the circumference, you have to realize you're talking about the outer edge of the circle, the area that goes around the circle. Next is one of the more complicated ones, and that's area of a trapezoid. The area of a trapezoid is hard because we have to remember that a trapezoid has different lengths on the top and the base. So we have to go ahead and find the average of that those lengths before we can find out the rest. So we've got, you got to take the base of the first one, add it to the base of the second one. Then you're going to have to multiply that to the height and divide them by 2. And that will give you that. So you'll have to find the formula for that on your own. Next is supplementary angles. And supplementary angles are kind of like complementary angles, except that both angles have to equal 180, and 180 is a straight line. Oh, this is a good time to put in our keyword, code word, which is Darth Vader keychain. Darth Vader keychain is our code word for the day. All right, and let's get back to it. Number 10 asks us for, let's see, the, looks like the radius. Let's see. I'm sorry. the radius of a pizza is 6 inches. What is the area of a pizza? So we have to remember that our formula for the area of a circle is pi r squared. So since we know what pi is, that'd be 3.14. We have to multiply that to our radius, and they said the radius is 6. And that will go ahead, you have to realize though that we're first going to have to take the radius and square it. So we have to take 6 times 6 and then multiply it to pi to get our answer. So I'll let you go ahead and figure out what your answer is. Next question is to find x if one of the angles on the line is 140 degrees. We have to remember that every line is 180. So when we have one that is 140 degrees already existing on it, we have to remember to subtract that from 180 to get our answer. And the last question is, what is the area of the parallelogram? We have to remember the parallelogram's formula is no different than a rectangle's formula. We're taking the base times the height. What you have to realize is which height to use. Will you use your angled height, or will you use your height going straight up and down? My clue is use the same type of height that you would for a rectangle. Does a rectangle have a slant height to it? Well, that's all the clues I'm giving you for your extra credit work. Good luck, and remember to pass them in so you can get your credit. See you tomorrow.